Hello, Virgo, and welcome in to today's reading. This is for the second half of August, and we're going to be taking a look at kind of jobs and careers, then love and relationships, and life path and mission. And before we get started, there are some kind of general things that are going on, so we'll talk a little bit about some of those. The first thing is the Perseid meteor shower is going on from the 11th to the 14th. So depending on if you see this message kind of right away when it comes out, you may be able to catch that. There is a new moon in Leo on the 16th, and those new moon cycles, that's about starting a new, fresh something. So this one is about new creative projects, maybe unconventional or different than what you normally would do. Then we also have Mars entering Libra on the 27th, and that's going to bring some more energy to you and some more drive to deal with people. I know with all the heavy energies lately, it's kind of been a little bit tough maybe in terms of some of your interactions with other people, so hopefully that should be something fresh. So one of the things that we're going to do before we get started on those other specific areas is to take a look at just overriding energies for the read. So these are just some overriding energies for you. The Justice in reverse, and then in this deck, the Eight of Crystals, that's the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Love card, which like the Lover's card, and then on the bottom of the deck, maybe the energies that you don't see coming, we have the Ten of Shells in reverse, which your shells are your cups. Then you have the Five of Feathers, so that's the Five of Swords, and then the Emperor. So the overriding energies, the Justice in reverse is about kind of, you're in a place where maybe you're avoiding some responsibilities and there's been some broken promises or abuse of power. So there's some some unfairness and dishonesty going on there. And, you are kind of honing in your talents and your skills. And then, with the Lovers, that's that divine connection. So kind of a little bit of, different energies there in terms of with Justice in reverse and the Lovers. But then the energies that you don't see coming over here on this side. So your Ten of Cups in reverse, that's maybe some troubles at home might be brewing. If there's been some dishonesty over here, or the talent, that's kind of like using your skills. So maybe if there's been too much work, what you're not seeing coming is there might be some disharmony at home. Your Five of Swords energy, that's kind of like as well some ruthlessness and dishonesty. And then with the Emperor, that's that strong masculine. So it looks like there could be some energy going on, and we'll dive deeper in. But what you're not seeing coming is a little bit of that sense of, this is what I'm doing. It's my way or the highway. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get what I want. So that's kind of just some overriding messages. But now let's go ahead and jump in on specific components of your life and see what all is going on. The last thing in terms of things that are happening kind of big picture this month, at the end of the month on the 30th and 31st, there's the blue moon in Pisces, and that's a supermoon. So that's the second of the supermoons in August. And like with any full moon, that's kind of the ending of cycles. And this one's is kind of about a major ending. So you're going to expect some increased emotional energy during this time period, and definitely meditate and really work on your healing and figuring out what is it that's maybe pulling up this energy, this strong, I'll call it alpha leader of, nope, this is what we're doing. This is my way or the highway. Because it looks like over here, how you are currently showing up, there is a desire for that, with the Lover's card, that connection, the uniting of masculine and feminine energy. But what's sneaking up behind you is, I'll call it ultra masculine type of maybe toxic almost energy. So let's see. Let's dive in on the work front and see what's coming up. All right, in the recent past, you have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. You're sitting in Queen of Pentacles in reverse energy, with the likely outcome being the Five of Wands. So you're coming off of a period of kind of rejection or division. Maybe you feel like you've kind of been left out to dry at work. And usually the solitude part, that's not necessarily in a good way. It's not that, oh, you wanted to be on your own for certain projects. So that has that energy of feeling like, like I said, somebody kind of hung you out to dry, which is putting you in this like greedy, selfish type of energy, and maybe a little bit of, envy if it's something where you felt like you were passed up at work and kind of left out in the dark, like you're maybe envious of the people that did get the opportunities that you didn't. And, but it does look like that's coming to resolution with this Five of Wands in reverse. And that's more of that, finding solutions and finding that peaceful place, because this is more of, confrontation. With it being in reverse, it's, the resolution to that. So it looks like maybe there's been a little bit of a rough spell from a work perspective. Let's take a look at what's been going on for you from a love and relationship standpoint. Okay. Cut. All right, in the recent past, we have the Tower in reverse. You're sitting in Five of Pentacles energy, with King of Swords coming up next. With the Tower in reverse, this is kind of delaying the inevitable, and that you're resisting change and you don't want to let go of something. So it's like you're holding on too tight, and that's causing all these other problems. And it's causing you to sit here in this energy of struggle and hardship. And, with the next part kind of being this almost cold or weak or cruel type of energy. So it definitely looks like in the love path, there's a sense of feeling jaded. And that's something to definitely be aware of, especially as, so Mercury is going to go in retrograde on August 23rd. And that's all about, Mercury in retrograde. There's always issues with lack of communication or miscommunication. Generally, people are irritable, lack of focus, sometimes, technology issues. It seems like of all of the planets going retrograde, Mercury in retrograde is the biggest one from a pop culture standpoint. Hearing people that don't even follow astrology, and they'll be talking about, oh, Mercury's in retrograde. So that's coming up. So be mindful of that, especially if you're feeling like you've kind of been out in the cold, and that you're really struggling, and it's pushing you into this, cold, kind of cruel energy. Be very aware of how it is that you're communicating during that time. Also on the 28th, we do have Uranus in Taurus, and it's going in retrograde. So that's about breaking free of stagnant energy and routines, and kind of embracing change, shedding what's not working for you, and putting together your plan of what you want to do. So particularly that retrograde, I would say up here where you've been from a career and job standpoint, feeling like you've been left out in the dark. And yes, the new energy coming in for you is that resolution and finding solutions. And part of that, I would say, is putting together a plan for the future so that you can be directing your boat in the direction you want to go. So from your life path and mission, you're coming out of that King of Wands energy into a Six of Swords energy, with the World as the next layer of energy for you. So you from a life path and mission perspective, you were showing that leadership and, meeting those challenges, kind of very determined that this was like the life path or your mission, and, getting ready to, I guess, kind of set sail and move on and travel in the right direction. And it is pushing you in the right direction, that you are going to get that triumph, that recognition, that fulfillment. So one of the things, one of the things I would say when you look at this part is it looks like this is very favorable, like your life path and your mission is lining up and it's harmonious, it's going in the direction you want it to go in. These other areas are not. So it could be a matter of, for some of you, that you've been spending so much time and energy and focus here that you didn't really have the time and energy to put into these other things. So in terms of finding your balance, that's something to be mindful of, is what is that balance. And maybe love and relationships aren't really all that high up on your priority list, so maybe you're content with this. But if that's the case, then if you're in a relationship and it's really not that important to you and you're just kind of in it, you're resisting the change because you're comfortable there, whatever, at some point you get to a point of, if it's not serving you, let it go, because it's just taking up energy and emotion. And frankly, if you're not really in it, it's not really fair to your partner if they're putting their hopes and dreams and life on hold because they think that you do want to be there. So in terms of a Gaia card for you, hidden path, the marriage of spirit and matter. So your hidden path, that's kind of the, I'll call it like the road less traveled. It may not be the obvious choice. So that's something, wherever that fits in for you. Like I said, it seems like this path, your life path and your mission path, seems to be going in the right direction, smooth and harmonious there. It's like it's this path in the middle that is, I would say, the weakest or the most misaligned for you right now. And your past supports your future. And I would say that's going to be, this hidden path is probably more related on the relationship standpoint, that, maybe you feel like you're supposed to be in that relationship because that's what the rest of your family wants. That's what society expects of you. It's convenient, whatever. But the hidden path could be a matter of saying, why am I doing this? Just because other people expect me to? So a lot of these retrogrades, because we still do have Venus, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune, and Chiron in retrograde. And with Venus still being in retrograde until September 3rd, that's kind of a make it or break it time for relationships. And it seems like this is going down the path of, maybe a break it type of situation unless you make some drastic changes. But, maybe that is the right path for you. And this card, the Weeping Willow card, finds sanctuary within turbulence. So some of it's a matter of, if there's things that are rocky and things that are unsettled, like up here, how do you find that peace within it? And some of that's about, meditating and letting go and surrendering to the universe. So, like I was saying, this time, especially with the blue moon, supermoon coming up, really work on your meditating and healing, so that you can find peace within the turbulent times, because it looks like there are some turbulent times here. So some of it is that matter of finding where that sanctuary is for you. So I hope this has been helpful and has given you a little bit of something to think about. As we mentioned at the beginning, with some of these energies of what's coming in that you're maybe not expecting, some of this is kind of that, I'll call it ruthless, dominant type of energy. So use that knowledge however you need to, however it resonates with you. And maybe part of it is you're at a season of your life where this is what you want to focus on, your mission, your life path, and the other things just aren't as pivotal for you, which, if that's the case, then you finding your peace and standing in your authentic self will help bring, balance and harmony and alignment for you. So maybe this whole path is one that's not resonating with you these days. So I will be doing other videos, the Is This Your Person video and Twin Flame videos. So if you want to be alerted as to when those come out, hit the notification bell. Otherwise, I'll continue to do the daily card pulls as well. So until next time, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Bye-bye.